Brodie, tell us about your moves at midfield. Good on the weekend and pretty good the weekend before that. How have you found it with a full-time move, it looks like this year?
Yeah, really enjoyed it. Obviously, it was good to go into the game knowing that I was going to play that sort of full-time midfield role, and we've sort of got that balance now this year where we can roll through the wing and the midfield. We've sort of got that licence just to change it whenever we like. So, but yeah, it was good to go into a game and know that I was going to have that midfield minutes, and it's sort of been the running gag since I've been here that I train in the midfield in pre-season and play half-back. So it was good to get out there, and hopefully Nixie's locked it in for round one.
I think 15 blokes sort of ran through there, at least for the Crows this pre-season. Do you think that you've done enough in your little audition to be one of the probably smaller few that gets to go round one?
I hope so. As I said, it has been that running gag that I get pushed back to half-back at round one. So I really hope so. I haven't spoken to Nixie or Godsey yet about the game and what's going to look like for round one. But yeah, I've done all the training there, played there on the weekend, so hopefully I can push my case to stay in there.
So we assume it's no longer a gag?
Oh, I hope not. Yeah, unless Nixie's going to talk to me after this and say, sorry, but you're back to half-back. So no, guys like Wayne and Lairdy are playing really well across half-back, so hopefully I can stay in that midfield role, and I've always wanted to be a midfielder and play in that position, so I'll be really happy if I can stay there.
Brodie, I was going to say, a lot's been spoken, we were just talking before about this coronavirus and what may or may not happen in empty stadiums. As a player, have you thought about it? What would it be like if you had to play in front of an empty stadium in Adelaide?
Yeah, it'd be really strange, clearly. Used to a packed house at Adelaide Oval, and for no one to be there and just sort of have our voices echoing around the stadium would be quite strange, and obviously be really disappointing for the fans and for us players. We love playing in front of the fans, they love coming to the footy, so I hope it doesn't get to that. And we did joke that if Sliney gets up in his 200th game round one, he'd be chaired off to nothing. So yeah, I really hope that it doesn't come to that, and it would be quite strange.
Has the club sort of spoken to you about, look, if someone gets crooked, this is what you're doing? I mean, we're all sort of learning as we go. Is there any kind of process or anything that you've been talking about too?
We talked about obvious hygiene and hand sanitizer, all that sort of stuff, and which is quite tough for a few footballers around the joint. But no, I think it's more precaution now. So if anyone's sick or got a sniff or whatever it is, you probably just get through the day and train and then go home. Now it's just go home, rest up and come back. So there's obviously a lot more precaution around little head colds and people going places, and even people coming into the footy club, like we're standing out here now, little things like that. So almost a mini lockdown at the club, and just do everything you can to keep yourself hygienic.
So if someone's sick and they pass you the footy, do you not like it?
Well, hopefully they're not out there. So yeah, I think it's the main thing. Just if you're crook, just stay home for the day. That's probably, so if anyone wants a day off at the moment, just have a little sniffle and stay home.
What about on the whole, the 2 losses to start, sort of, it's a bit of a different look for the Crows. How have you boys felt about how those 2 games went?
We've had patches, good patches, bad patches, and obviously the first game we had a few players out and played some guys for a half, that sort of thing. And the Gold Coast game was probably a good hit out, a proper hit out with 22 players. And that first quarter, the contest, I think our numbers were we were minus 19 in the first quarter, which is obviously a huge number and really disappointing. So we still had those little phases where they got on top of us, especially in the contested area, that we need to fix up. And then we had some really good patches through the third quarter. We had some really good movement through the corridor and saw some different looks up forward. You know, Tex in the ruck, which has been spoken about a lot, and played the smaller forward line. And I think we really used the Marsh series as a testing period to see what looks work. And we've done a lot of work on our game plan. A lot of things have changed, and we're still just trying to see what works best for us. And yeah, going forward, that's going to continue. And hopefully we can just get the right mix and go from round one onwards.
I know it's early, I know they're only opinions, but a lot of the people that start putting out their ladder predictions at this time of year have the Crows are appearing quite lower than they have in a lot of previous years. How does that make you feel? Do you think that's fair on the team and the list you've got?
It's a good bit of motivation. Obviously we've been through a bit the last couple of years, so we've had a fair bit change, as I just said. You know, new coach, new game plan, the list has changed a lot. A lot of younger guys are going to get opportunities this year, which we find really exciting. So we're excited to go into the year with no expectations, and we know that if we play some good footy and we've got trust in the game plan that we've put on the park for all of pre-season, that we're going to win some games of footy. And hopefully, throughout the year, that puts us in a spot where we can really push for a top 8 finish still.
Brodie, what are the main game plan changes?
To be honest, a lot has changed. The way we transition, the way we defend, as we touched on the midfield mix and getting a bit of speed through there as well. So a lot has changed, and we want to be really attacking and attack off turnover. But that all starts with our contest work. As I said on the weekend, our first quarter in contest was poor, so we couldn't get the ball forward. And that's what I think all teams are trying to do now. Once you get the ball forward into your forward line, you can really set up, and that's what we'll try to do: get it forward, set up, and then attack off turnover.
And what do you like about playing midfield? So you've been waiting for a long time. What do you really enjoy about it? How does it suit your game?
I just think we get first crack at the ball is obviously a good start, and then just a bit more freedom with your transition and where you run on the ground. Obviously, being a defender, you've also got your forwards to worry about and different patterns that you have to run. I like the midfield patterns and being able to push up and down the ground and push forward, hard forward as well, and try to get on the end of a couple, which I enjoy doing.
Brodie, can you just give us an update on Tom Jude, how he's travelling?
Yeah, he's going well. He's obviously had that little setback, and I think for Tom at the moment it's just a bit of a day-by-day thing for him, and just see how the body's feeling, and he just gave it a bit of a wrench in that little knock he got. So I think he's doing really well, and as I said, he's just going to have to wait and see how his body's feeling. But all reports are that he'll be pushing to play footy, but what level, I'm not sure.
So still, I suppose, an outside chance for next week, but maybe unlikely given he hasn't played yet?
Yeah, probably, yeah. So obviously he's, once he gets he's probably missed that little match sim and March series that he would have loved to have under his belt going to round 1. So now it's all that assessment he'll have to go through with doctor, physio, coaches, and but yeah, hopefully he's back with us really soon, because he's obviously a huge talent for us.
I'm not sure how much you know about Ace, who obviously the club announced yesterday signed as part of the pre-season supplementary period stuff, but just another defender, a bit extra depth there. Yeah,
well, from what he's not here today, but what I've heard, he's really tall, athletic sort of type. So I think about 190 centimetres, really quick and athletic, as I said. So a good mix for us, and probably something that we need in the side. And so we're looking forward to getting him over, and hopefully he can be really good for us.
Brodie, training as a midfielder, had you covered a lot more Ks sort of this pre-season in ones in the past?
Not so much Ks, it's more the contested conditioning, which we did a lot of as a group. So more of that sort of getting to stoppage and doing the wrestling and stuff that you don't really do at halfback, and that's probably been the big change for me, and all the technique around how to, your stoppage craft, and coming up against some bigger blokes in the midfield as well. So it's great to go against someone like Huey Greenwood, that big body in the midfield on the weekend, and just try and learn my craft there. So still a lot of learnings for me throughout the year, but hopefully as the year goes on I can get better and better in that area.
We've seen it centre bounce, Rory and the two Crouch brothers do most of the centre bounce stuff the last few years. Is that mix going to change a little bit with yourself and Rory and Seed maybe slotting in there? Yeah, it is. The Crouch boys are hard to get out of there. They like being in the centre bounce, but so getting those guys to the wing, and I think you saw on the weekend, like Cedo was in a fair few centre bounces, and it's good with this mix that he was going really well in that area on the weekend. So Nixie sort of said, Cedo, stay in there, and if we can have that sort of balance this year, because you're right, we have sort of had it's Crouch, Sloan at every centre bounce, so it's a good mix to change it up and get a few new faces in there.
And you'll attend a few centre bounces at times?
Yeah, I'll try and get in there, yep. As I said, that's something I want to do, and something I've been working on, so I'll try and get as many as I can.
Why has that change been made, do you think?
Well, I think obviously Nixie coming in with his new game plan, and the way he sees the game, he wanted to get more midfielders through the centre bounce, and that's basically as simple as it is. And a real focus on guys like Brad going to the wing and playing a different role and being able to play that role. So when we do have someone like a Cedo or Atkins going really well, they can go into the centre and give us that run as well. So I think it's a really good thing for us that we're going to have that balance.
You had a couple of months in the leadership group now. How have you found that experience?
Yeah, good. I've really enjoyed it. Obviously, it's about to change a bit with games starting. It'll ramp right up now, and as I said on the weekend, we had that disappointing first quarter, so a bit of a learning curve for me there, that if I can try and recognise that earlier and do something on the field rather than wait for quarter time. So once game starts, that's the things I'm going to have to try and pick up now and try and implicate while we're playing.
What more meetings that you expect?
Not too bad. No, it's only 1 or 2 a week, so
Yeah, it's been pretty good. I've enjoyed it, and as I said, it hasn't been games, so we've been talking about leadership development rather than actually worrying about the game. So it's been really good learning for, especially myself and Tommy being new guys in there.